Trinity. I'd like to finish this week of verses to stoke our courage in the midst of all this pandemic, etc. By turning to a passage that I've read a lot in my life. I think it's been read to me a lot in my life, but I don't think I've actually thought about yet in regard to this strange COVID year, which is Hebrews 12, 1 and 2. It says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God." Hebrews doesn't tell us to deny that this race requires endurance. In fact, I think it encourages us to recognize that running the race well does require endurance. It is hard. But it sets up this picture in ways that can really help us. It reminds us that this race is not just a race, it's the race that has been set before us. We have been put on this stretch of the road for a reason, and God must think that we are the ones to run it, even if we will struggle along the way. And Hebrews also reminds us that we're surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. We are not the first to face hard times, nor are these even the hardest. And as we recall people like we see in the whole chapter, Hebrews 11, and many others who have been faithful to God through hard times, we can lift up our heads like they did and fix our eyes on Christ. Christ who, with joy, endured the cross, despising its shame. So many people would say, "Don't go to the cross. You don't have to do that. You shouldn't do that. You don't want to do that." And he said, "Yes, I do, because for this I have been sent." And as we watch him do that, think about him doing that, follow him in trying to be faithful to God, we find endurance for the race.